In today's video, I'm going to show you 7 resume mistakes not to make. Instead, we're going to focus on how to optimize your resume and increase the chance of getting an interview twofold. Before we get into the 7 tips, if you want to book a free 30-minute career consultation where we will map out a plan to get your ideal job faster and easier, click the link in the description. I've personally received offers from household names like Duracell, Anheuser-Busch, Mattel, and others. And I've helped countless individuals secure their ideal job. I only have a few slots available each week. Appointments are first come, first serve, so click the link below. The first mistake candidates make on their resume is not using an ATS-friendly resume. Do not use a non-ATS format. What do I mean? This is an example of an ATS formatted resume. This is a non-ATS formatted resume. The overwhelming majority of online application systems use what is called ATS to scan your resume for keywords and experience. What most candidates don't know is that many of the trendy resume templates you find online are simply not screened effectively by ATS. Resumes with columns, pictures, graphics are not screened by ATS, which means your resume, no matter how great your experience is, stands the very real chance of not getting an actual human to review it. You don't want to do that. The job market's competitive enough without getting yourself prematurely disqualified. I know this personally through extensive experience working as a hiring manager. I've seen hundreds of applicants apply for a single role. Increase your chance of getting the interview with a simple yet professional resume template. Instead of wasting time with counterproductive, fancy templates, focus your time on important content we'll discuss later in this video. The second mistake candidates make is not selling the reader out of the gate. You've heard the old saying, you only get one chance at a first impression, and that's especially true with resumes. I've seen so many resumes that start with tired, recycled verbiage and headlines like career professional seeking new role. Instead of the career objective section, I strongly recommend using a career summary that highlights why you are the candidate they must have, and then also tailor it to the job type you're applying to. This is where you can specifically tell them the skills you have that will allow you to exceed expectations for the role. This is a targeted statement showing them why they need you, your skill set, and why you are the ideal candidate. Use keywords and jargon from the job description and tailor it to your direct experience to be most effective. The third mistake people make is they put their education above their experience in the flow or chronology of the resume. Why do I say this? Well, education is valuable and can be impressive if you went to a prestigious university, but generally what's more valued by employers is your practical experience. How are you going to make the hiring manager's job and life easier? What skill set do you possess that uniquely qualifies you for the job? Even if you're 1 to 2 years out of school, you likely have valuable work experience this employer is looking for and you should highlight. Unless you're applying to consulting firms like BCG, which only pick candidates from select universities, you'll be much more effective highlighting and tailoring your resume to the specific requirements of the job, and then showcasing your relevant experience, then placing a focus on your education. The fourth mistake you do not want to make is overlooking the small details. I've seen countless resumes that on the surface look great. Great experience, great career progression, but then they have words that are misspelled, or there's an inconsistency in font, type, and size. These can be red flags for hiring manager, especially in jobs that require an attention to detail. I recommend that you use grammar check software and have a trusted friend or advisor look over your resume before you submit. With competition fierce for top companies and competitive jobs, do not give hiring managers a reason not to hire you. The fifth mistake I see candidates make will all but guarantee that you will not get the interview, and that's focusing the important real estate or the available space on your resume to rehashing static job duties versus focusing on dynamic results. Instead of highlighting the responsibilities you have at your current and past roles, showcase the results you've achieved. In my opinion, from experience as a hiring manager, this is the most important aspect of the resume and is critical to getting the job. Hiring managers are looking for quantifiable results that instill confidence that you can not only hit the ground running when they hire you, but you will be able to make a significant impact to their organization. Now we're going to look at two different resumes. Look at the difference between candidate A, who simply regurgitated their job duties, versus candidate B, who optimized their resume for results. It's quite the difference. Focus on results like increasing sales by 2x, decreasing costs by 5% to ensure you're the candidate that gets the offer. The sixth mistake you do not want to make on your resume is having inconsistencies with your LinkedIn profile. Today, most HR hiring platforms require candidates to upload their LinkedIn profile as part of the resume. In my experience as a hiring manager, this has been a helpful way for me to get added visibility and information on a candidate's experience and network. As a result, I've seen candidate profiles whose resumes have omissions when compared to LinkedIn. They've had inconsistent dates or titles. And conversely, I've had awards and recognition listed on LinkedIn, but were inadvertently left off the resume. You cannot afford to make this mistake because in an increasingly competitive job market, many candidates have already worked with a career coach and optimized both the resume and LinkedIn profile. The last mistake you do not want to make is not leveraging big company names. What do I mean by this? Well, let me share an example. I was working with a client who worked in the creative space. They worked for a reputable boutique creative agency. Most hiring managers, however, would not be aware of this company unless they did direct work with them. However, this client's boutique agency worked with household names like General Mills and Molson Coors. I advised the client to weave these company names and client assignments into the body of the resume. Combining experience with household names and empirical results will help you stand out in a cluttered field of applicants.